This is the full breakdown, my list that I came up with for your Ram 1500. If you plan on making some real power, and also, let's say if your goal is for you to hit 11s with your Ram, with everything on this my list I came up with, you definitely could be able to hit that. But I'm going to be sharing with you guys that right now in this video. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. Happy Thursday. Today I'm going to be doing a deep dive in every mod. I came up with a list of everything that you really need, modification, whatever you want to call it, that you will need for your 5.7 Hemi Ram to be able to run 11s. Now, this is not cheap, and this does require you to spend some money, so I want you guys in the back to listen to this. But if you plan on, if your goal is for you to hit 11s with your truck, this is everything I would do personally. I think obviously there's more things you can add to the list, but this is everything I was able to think of that came to my mind, and I wrote this on a piece of paper, and I'm gonna share with you guys that in this video. But before we get started, I want to say, if you haven't subscribed already, do me a favor, click that subscribe button and support the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. If you're here for your first time on the channel, obviously I got a 2014 Ram 1500, and this is a truck that I am currently building on this channel. It is a crew cab, quad cab. I'm the second owner, and this truck currently have 154,000 miles, and we are going to be building something crazy and epic. So you guys definitely want to stick along and subscribe to the channel. So what is a full mod list of everything you need to be able to achieve 11s with low 11s? If done right, you could be able to achieve low 11s with a single cab, quad cab. You could do it with everything on this list. I went into deep into detail for you guys, so you guys that are trying to achieve that or need ideas for your mods, whatever, such and such, this is everything right here. Some of these things on the list too, I'm going to be doing in my truck. This is everything you're going to need. So enough of me yapping, let me get into detail. Number one, obviously, we're going to start from the engine. You're going to need a 392 Hemi. What is a 392 Hemi? 392 Hemi, you're going to convert, obviously, from a 5.7 to a 6.4 block. Now, that's the number one thing. That's the biggest thing right there. That's the heart, the biggest piece of a puzzle. That's it right there. Number two, you're going to need MMX drop-in forged piston. It's another thing you're going to need on the list. So that's two things right there. Now, price, depending on stuff, where you get it from. Price also depend. I'm not going to give you guys price off here, but, you know, somewhere you're going to be spending some good amount of money, but it's going to be worth it, though. Not trying to scare you up. Number two, you're going to need a ACC race main and rod bearing, pretty much. Number four, you're going to need a ARP main stud kit. Now, I'm going down the list. The list going to keep growing. I'm trying to do this and not trying to be pretty much boring also, because I am talking and stuff. But so far, I'm going to run it back for you guys. You're going to need a 392 engine. So you're going to need a 6.4 Hemi engine. Number two, you're going to need an MMX drop-in forged piston. Three, you're going to need the ACC race main and rod bearing. Pretty much, you're going to need that. Number four, you're going to need an ARP main stud kit. Number five, you're going to need an ARP rod bolt kit. And for my six, now you're going to need a I can't get my words out of my mouth. Texas Speed Chromely 6770 intake push rods. Same thing for the exhaust. Going to need a Texas Speed Chromely 8.705 exhaust push rods. You're going to need a Hellcat oil pump. You're going to need a timing companion. You're going to need gasket, head studs. You're going to need Cook's long tube headers. You don't have to go with the exact things I'm telling you, but these are just ideas of what exactly you need. But my preference on headers is Cook's long tube headers. That's why I put that on there. Doesn't have to be Cook's long tube headers for you. Could be something else. Number, what is this number? Let me go back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Number 12, you're gonna need a 3-inch AWE OFG dual catback exhaust system. For me, this is one of the best sounding exhaust system to combine, to put on these trucks, in my personal opinion. It might be different for you. It might be something else. Now, I got 3 more things to name. So you're gonna need a 392 injector, a 797 T-step bypass, core air intake. You're gonna need obviously after that, your last but not least, you're gonna need the biggest thing that's gonna help you get the best out of all of these mods that I just named, is getting a tune. You're gonna need a custom tune and also a 392 LSD. So a custom tune, you're gonna need it on the transmission, you're gonna need it on the engine itself. Now, that is the thing that's gonna be able to spike everything up for you, for your truck and stuff. So this is like a full mod list. I'll say like a kind of like a deep in-depth mod list, just to give you guys like an idea of like, okay, how to really build like I'll say, I wouldn't say full bolt on, but I'll say like a kind of like I'll say like an NA Ram. How to build something that's very like a fast, not crazy fast, but a fast Ram street truck for you to drive. Also something that you definitely gonna make power at the track with. This is everything, I would say. Now, if you want to take it up a notch, one thing I'll add on to that, once you have the 392 Hemi engine, you could do a Whipple supercharger with that. It's gonna be pricey, but all of this stuff right here I named, roughly you spending probably, engine is the most expensive, I'll say. Engine right now is probably gonna be somewhere around six grand, I'll say. With tax, probably 7, depending on where you at, where you stay, shipping and all that stuff. That's not really counting that in. But this is like really like an in-depth mod list that you could really do to your truck, add to your truck, and I guarantee you, you will make 11s if it's tuned right. Obviously, another thing too, like I stated, you could, when you add all of these mods to, another thing that most guys I see do that's obviously makes sense, if you got a quad cab, crew cab, obviously I would need you. You're definitely gonna have to do some kind of weight reduction to seats. You can remove the seats. You could remove your tailgate. You can remove your door panels and stuff like that. I cannot get my words out of my mouth, but you can do all of these things. But this is really like, this is not like a crazy mod list, I'll say, I give you guys, but this is definitely like, you're up there making some good power mod lists. And obviously price does, like, spending the money does play a huge role. You definitely gotta pay to play, making power is not something that's cheap. So, but this is just to give you guys an idea of like, it's a lot of things out there you could do to these trucks. I'm not saying that you can't run, because 11s is not low. 11s is not like fast as hell, but for a truck like this, I think that's pretty decent. 11s, I'll say that's pretty decent, but you could go a lot faster. Now you could achieve 11s with the 5.7 Hemi. You could do that, but I think that it does just require so much more like mods you gotta be able to do throughout it and stuff like that. And also, I didn't add on this list too, custom cam. What else I didn't say? I think custom cam, and I think that's the only thing I missed to add on here. But custom cam too can be able to help you. But the 5.7 Hemi like engine and stuff like that, it requires a whole lot more that you're gonna have to do. I'm not saying it's not attainable for you to be able to do so, but I would just say, like, me personally, I just think overall, like, I got mad respect for the 5.7 Hemi engine, because that's like Dodge original start point when the Hemis and stuff, when they first came out years ago. It's like that was like the Hellcat engine back then. Now it's like the 6.4 Hemi engine, and I think anybody in their right state of mind, if you got one of these trucks, it's always the best. I always say this: the best thing for you to do is to get rid of your 5.7 Hemi, go with the 6.4 Hemi, doing like a can do like MDS delete, all that stuff. Is you're gonna be making a ton of power, yo. It's like kind of freaking cool to me, honestly, if you ask me. Even though like there's sound difference, kind of like slightly different, like from a 5.7 and a 6.4 Hemi, the sound kind of like the same, but kind of crazy. If you guys ever heard like a Hellcat Scat Pack, how they sound when they modify, hearing like the same thing coming out of this truck, like the Hemi Rams and stuff like that. It's like the Ram 1500s, kind of like cool. Like I ain't gonna lie, like very sick to me. I love that sound. And I mean, what else can you? I think personally, like that's like the best route for you to take, man. Like if you want to obtain power, make power, just ditch your 5.7 Hemi. Just obviously it's gonna cost money, but just this that, put a 6.4 block. It's a bigger size block. Got more chance of you making a lot more power. Is everything is pretty much like straightforward too. It's not gonna be hard for you to do so. The only thing is just the money, you spend the money, but it's gonna be worth it at the end though. But that's the same thing that's coming for this truck. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna build something that's kind of crazy because the ideas I have for this truck in my head, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it's pretty epic, man. I'm gonna be building a very, very sick truck, man. Like this truck gonna be crazy. And it's my favorite color right now, black. It's my favorite color. Anything I gotta have, it gotta be black. Black, can't go wrong with black though. But enough of me yapping on. You guys make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Help support the channel. Why wouldn't you? And if you're a car guy, definitely gotta subscribe, man. You shouldn't have to question yourself why. Subscribe, hit that like button, support the channel. Peace out.